The global cybersecurity insurance market size is projected to grow from $11.9 billion in 2022 to $29.2 billion by 2027 at a CAGR of 19.6 during the forecast period. The major factors driving the market include the increasing number of sophisticated cyber attacks, amplifying the fear of financial losses, and growing need for compliance with various upcoming regulations. Hello and welcome to VAR India News Hour. The global cybersecurity insurance market finds that the increase in cyber attacks and data breaches is expediting the market growth. Primarily driven by the rising rate of recovery of financial losses, the total global cybersecurity insurance market is estimated to reach $26.24 billion by the year 2028 as per the Vantage Market Research. The demand of cybersecurity insurance is credited to the high adoption of artificial intelligence and blockchain technology for risk analytics is also anticipated to augment the growth of the global cybersecurity insurance market. The ongoing Russia and Ukraine war and Cold War among China and Taiwan on gaining the global leadership position into the manufacturing and supplying chips makes the technology and infrastructure more vulnerable. As per global data, the digital world is a minefield for insurers at the moment, with giants like AXA, CNA Financial, Tokio Marina, and Marsh and McLennan suffering cyber attacks in 2021 alone. Against this backdrop, cybersecurity revenues in the insurance sector are set to grow at a compound annual growth rate of more than 10% from $6.4 billion in 2020 to $10.6 billion in 2025. The report reveals that insurers must navigate the theme cautiously or risk suffering reputational damage from either a data breach or refusing to make a cyber insurance payout. The Russia-Ukraine war has increased the likelihood of state-sponsored cyber attacks that target critical infrastructure, military operations, and businesses. Such attacks not only target insurers but lead to expensive payouts and damage the reputation of those reluctant to pay. Cyber insurance is now far riskier for insurers to provide, with some ransomware gangs reportedly targeting businesses with cyber insurance policies as they are more likely to pay a ransom. It is thus no surprise that the likes of AXA and AIG are rethinking their cyber policies to mitigate the higher risk of a payout through higher premiums and/or reduced customer coverage. Simultaneously, fewer SMEs are looking to purchase cyber insurance due to the cost of living crisis and rising overheads, making it harder for them to afford the coverage. This issue is only being exacerbated by insurers putting up their cyber insurance prices. Let's look into today's headlines in VAR India. Prime Minister Modi states poll freebies as a burden on taxpayers. Let's look into today's headlines in VAR India. Prime Minister Modi states poll freebies as a burden on taxpayers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reiterated that poll freebies increase taxpayers' burden, prevent the country from becoming self-reliant, and block investments in new technologies. The act of giving away freebies is not in the interest of the nation and will push it back. He further said that as a country, we have to take a pledge that we will not allow such tendencies to grow. This is a collective responsibility of the country. DIAL begins installation of IoT devices on vehicles used at IGI Airport. The Delhi International Airport Limited has started installing Internet of Things devices on its vehicles used at Indira Gandhi International Airport to save fuel, enhance safety, track their locations, and schedule their maintenance. The IoT devices save all data related to the movement of the vehicle, like time, distance, fuel in the vehicle, if the vehicle is idle or moving, etc. The GMR Group-led DIAL, which owns and manages the Delhi airport, will install IoT devices in a phased manner on all its vehicles by the end of this month. China claims US chip law as threat to trade. China has criticized a US law to encourage processor chip production in the United States and reduce dependence on Asian suppliers as a threat to trade and an attack on Chinese business. The law was signed this week by President Joe Biden and promises $52 billion in grants and other aid to the investors in the US chip factories. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin claims that the measure will disrupt international trade and distort global semiconductor supply chains. DoT invites shareholders for spectrum study. The Department of Telecommunications has invited shareholders to participate in a demand study for direct assignment of spectrum for setting up captive non-public networks, also known as private 5G networks. Enterprises with a net worth of at least rupees 100 crores who are willing to set up CNPNs by obtaining spectrum directly from the government can send their inputs for the demand study until September 9th. These networks are typically set up by an enterprise or organization like factories for their private use and are not accessible to the general public. Airlines to provide foreign travelers' details to Customs Department. Airlines will have to mandatorily provide details of all international passengers to the Customs Department for preventing and prosecuting offences under the Customs Act 1962, as well as any other domestic or international law. The National Customs Targeting Center for Passengers, or the database set up by the CBIC, will collect the information for risk analysis of passengers for the purpose of prevention, detection, investigation and prosecution of offences under the Customs Act 1962. Information such as passenger name record, date of travel, credit card details and seat assigned will have to be shared at least 24 hours before departure, and failure to comply will invite a minimum penalty of Rs 25,000 and maximum of Rs 50,000 for every act of non-compliance. That's all for now. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to VAR India News magazine. You can download the VAR India app from Google Play Store and Apple App Store for the latest news and updates. Stay tuned. Thank you.